What's up, Revolution Comics? So I'm back again today with another movie review. When I went and seen Blue Beetle for the second time, I also had the pleasure to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I watched that after Blue Beetle. It was pretty good. I loved the animation style that they used, and I'm pretty sure animated movies are coming back. Like, if you watch Puss in Boots, Last Wish, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and then this one, you'd be like, oh yeah, animation's coming back. But I really liked the style they animated it with, and yeah, it was a really good enjoy movie. So right now I will be giving my spoiler review on it. If you don't want to be, if you want to go see it, because I think either this week or next week is like the last time you can see it in theaters. If you want to watch it in theaters, don't go any further. With that being said, let's dive in. So the movie starts off great, with Baxter Stockman and the Cynthia girl, the head of TCRI, tracking down Baxter Stockman to get his mutagen serum away so that they can create their own indestructible soldiers, which I thought that was pretty cool how they did their approach on that. But then it ends up going down, and then Baxter Stockman holds like a big gigantic fly, and he calls him his son and all that. That's kind of weird. And in the comics, Baxter Stockman is Superfly, but I liked how they took their approach and they made them two different people, because in the comics the movie wouldn't have made as much sense as it was. But anyway. So after the TCRI agents came in, they took the mutagen away. Basically, they took the mutagen samples away that were holding all the other ones, but baby Superfly ended up escaping, and one vial of mutagen went down the sewers and got all over your favorite Ninja Turtles: Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and Master Splinter. And that started their origin. Now, 15 years later, this was a really interesting take. I liked it with this movie on how they were actually teenagers voicing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Usually in recent movies, they're grown adults voice acting them, and even in the old movies, they were grown adults too. That they just use voice autocorrect thing in the CGI stuff, but. I honestly thought that was really sweet that we were actually getting teenagers. And then Jackie Chan as Master Splinter was just amazing. But yeah, overall, the intro to that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was really good. But then, as we progressed through the story, they wanted to explore more of the outside world, but their father made jokes about scientists milking them, and I'll get to that part later, how they made that super funny. And the teenagers are rebelling and they want to go out, and then they get grounded for a month, and then I think a few weeks pass, and Superfly attacks like a truck containing a specific machine piece that he needed for his ultimate plan. Well, then weeks go by, and never said it in the film, but by how their dialogue was and all that, you could tell weeks had went by. Their month of grounding was over, and they were out in the city again. That's when they're out throwing ninja stars and tearing up watermelons. It was what normal teenagers would do, but that's when a ninja star accidentally hits April O'Neil in the head. And in this, they took a different approach for the love interest for the turtle. They went with Leonardo as his love interest as April. Usually, in the classic Nickelodeon TV show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was Donatello that liked April. And then in the movies with Megan Fox, it was Michelangelo. But in this one, it was Leonardo. I'm kind of wondering if they ever do reboot this again, it'll be Raphael. I'm just saying that'd be kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, they did take that approach. And her bike ends up getting stolen as she's talking to the turtles from where they're up on the roof here, and she's like down on the ground, and a guy comes around, steals her bike, and runs away. And Leonardo says it's his mission to bring back the bike and stop her, and everyone was picking on him because he had a big crush and everything. So they went and did their very first fight that they had ever done, like as a team and together and stuff. And I think these were the carjack criminals were actually the first criminals they have ever faced. I think they mentioned that in the film, but that was pretty cool. And then after that, they had April was kind of scared to see them, but she's like, and then Michelangelo brings up the point where are all people like you, where we're not going to be shunned by society, and automatically you know her answer, it's no. She's like, the only reason I'm not scared of you guys is because you saved me. And so they came up with the idea, if they stopped Superfly, then maybe society would love them. So they went about this entire movie taking down Superfly's like main men until they got to the one guy where the one guy revealed the location of Superfly. So then they went over and got to the drop zone with April recording from a faraway distance, and they talked, and mutants started coming out of like 3 cars, and they were both shocked that they were all mutants. And then Superfly brought up that they were cousins because they were born basically from the same tube of mutagen, which was kind of weird, but they rolled with it. But anyway, after that, they kick it with the mutant gang, and they try to get more and more answers out of Superfly, and Superfly's like kind of starting to catch on that they don't really want to help him, they want to take him down. So then in the vans, there was a van scene where they have the machine in there, but then Superfly told 2 of his mutants to get into the car with the turtles, and then the turtles end up stopping him and running away. And then after that, Superfly is now bent on going to get them, and so yeah. So after the van scene, they end up, I think they got captured. Yes, by the end of it, they got captured by the TCRI, and they got taken to a secret lab that they had, and April actually ended up going down to see Master Splinter and try to get his help to get the turtles back. And Master Splinter at first was kind of scared because it was a human, and he doesn't really like humans on how they treated him when the turtles first wanted to go out in the city, and Splinter let them emerge, and then everyone was panicking and scared, and they just started beating him up and getting all angry. But then, so after that, they went back down, and then this is where the funny joke, the milking scene comes in, because they hook them up to a machine and actually start extracting the mutagen out of them. And then when Splinter comes and saves them, it said on the machine, milking machine 2000, and he's like, were you guys being milked? And it was funny, it was laughs and giggles. But then after that, they went to go to the Superfly gang, and they got the entire gang of Superfly's entire gang to go back on what they were standing for, because they didn't want to really hurt anyone. They were just following their big brother, Superfly, who's been taking care of them since they were emerged from the mutagen. So, yeah, it was a really heartfelt moment. But then, after they stop him, and he ends up going down with his machine into the water, but then emerges with all these animals attached to him, and he becomes like one big gigantic, as he calls it, super fly. But it was really cool. And then the turtles go and fight him, but then the news gets, you know how news is, they like to exaggerate the story. So they started off with saying that the turtles were trying to take over the city and that they were helping the ginormous monster. But then April comes out of nowhere, goes to the newsroom, kicks the girl out of the chair, and goes, that's not what's happening. They're trying to save New York City. And then as they're about to get beat down and they're about to lose the battle, the humans actually start to help take down Superfly. And I honestly thought that was pretty cool how, and even though that they were shunned by society for most of their 15 years of their life, humans actually wanted to get involved as soon as they knew that they were heroes, which kind of talks about a lot of people nowadays on how never judge a book by its cover and stuff like that. But then after that, they ended up defeating Superfly with the anti-mutagen gun, like the gun serum, and they shoved it down in his back because he had like a whale hole in his back. So they put that down there, and then he like turned back to a normal itty-bitty fly. And then at the end of the movie, what happened? Oh yeah, so the mutant gang, everyone lives down in the sewers now with the Turtles and Splinter. Splinter actually has a girlfriend, Cockroach, now, which the boys aren't very pleased with and thinks it's disgusting how a man his age is dating a woman, which it was a joke. It was funny. So then, but yeah, and now the Turtles are starting high school, which is kind of weird, and they don't wear their bandanas in high school and stuff. And then Leo, towards the end of the movie, finally asked up the courage to ask April to prom. She said yes. And then when prom was shown, they made a funny joke, and she's like, "We're just going as friends, right?" And he's like, "What?" Which I thought it was funny. But then like the post-credit scene was really, really cool. I don't know how they're gonna approach it, but I'll explain it right now. So TCRI knows how to track them down and knows where they are, but they don't know how to capture them without raising suspicion that New York's heroes are gone and nobody knows where they went. So then she says, and then one of her mercenaries says, we have one other option. And she's like, yeah, I know. And then it cuts away to Shredder emerging in like half camera like this, like angle where it's like only half his body. And then she's like, we need to call in the Shredder. And then the movie ended. Well, I don't know how they're going to approach this. In the comics, he's kind of his own thing. He owns the Foot Clan, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they're going to do in their film, like their second film, because it already has been confirmed that they are doing a second film. They confirmed that before even the first one came out. This one came out. They were like confirming that the second one is coming out. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to make him like a bounty hunter, because I don't like that idea. I like Shredder as the original. He hates the Turtles because of what Splinter did to him, but how they changed Splinter's origin in this, I don't know if they're going to change it in this movie. It would be cool to see Shredder as a bounty hunter type thing, but I don't know what they're going to do. So if I hear more news about that, I will definitely break it down for you guys, but that is all for now. I hope you enjoyed my spoiler review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. If you haven't watched it, again, I cannot emphasize this enough. I think next week is the last week it'll be in theaters. Take your family and go watch it. It was a blast. So, yep, that's all for now. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will post another video soon talking about maybe one of my characters again. You guys seem to be liking the YouTube shorts a lot, so maybe I'll post another one of those. Well, that's all for now. See ya.